Many of us get so swooped up in the world of pretty pictures on Property 24 and private property. So many of us get swooped up in this whole notion of, oh, I already know which calculations that I need. My confession today is, prior to 2016, I did not know you needed any sort of education to be a real estate investor. All I knew in my world, in my mind, was that you needed money. What proved and reinforced that believing is that I had bought a 2-bed, 1-bath, and I realized how very quickly I got stuck with that particular property, and I was not able to scale. So in my mind, of course, you needed a whole lot of money. Well, 2016 proved me otherwise. I was hauled through to a free seminar. This guy pitched his lungs out in front. 2 hours later, I realized, flip, I need this education. I need this training. I got myself into a 3-day training. They made all sorts of promises. Some promises were just like far-fetched. And then there was a lot of the information and education that they gave that made a solid argument. During coaching, that was when my biggest light bulbs hit, which is the 3 facts that I'm going to tap onto in today's video. So if you stay until the end of this video, you're going to learn the 3 facts about why I believe that anyone that's wanting to become a real estate investor needs this education and how you'll be able to grow and scale your business. Welcome to my channel. My name is Genevieve Stafford-Jack. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're returning, you're in for another treat. So the first thing that I learned during coaching was that there's something called finding distressed properties. Now, on a whole, just listening to that one line sentence, you'll think, so what is there in it really? So what was there in it is that when we are getting into websites like Property 24, you're not going to be looking for the beautiful property. You're not going to be looking for the property that is selling itself. You are going to be looking at the property that people walk away from. The rundown property. When you're on Property 24 and any of the websites like that, you're going to be looking at property, rather at adverts where they're showing maybe one picture or pictures of outside, because that leaves you questioning. So why are you not showing me inside? And I quickly learned that the inside was pretty run down. So as a real estate investor, what did I need to do? I needed to go and investigate, hey, if this property is run down, when you're selling it, when it's all fixed up on market value, it may be worth 500,000. So that is its innate value, right? But when you are purchasing it, it's a very different space, because you make an offer equivalent to how much you can get from, how much you can negotiate. You make an offer based on, when I have it up into market value, how much am I spending in between? And there's all these little intricate details to it. And that's when I really sat back and I was like, this is why I needed this education. Look, to me, it was not as obvious as it may have been for you. I wonder, what was your first aha moment of, flip, I actually need some sort of education to be a real estate investor? I'd love to hear that from you down in the comments below. As I move on to point number 2. Point number 2 was a big one for me. In fact, it was my huge, it was a clutch of notes. Guys, it was a clutch of notes. I thought I was going to kill somebody. It was running numbers. I first didn't even understand the concept of running numbers. I was like, what are these educated people around me on about? Right? So this whole idea of running numbers really is just trying to pull out at how much can I make and how much of an offer can I make, how much renovation needs to be done in this particular property, what, in terms of me financing this property and then the monthly operating expenses like levies and things like that, all of that now needs to be covered, right? And this all comes from running numbers. I was like, what the what? So of course, I walked into the wall there. I felt frustrated. We had a 5-tabbed Excel sheet that we were trying to get through. And I was just trying to grasp something. But I was so irritated at some given point, right? And then I said to myself, okay, get over your irritation. How are you going to fix this issue? And so I fixed it by literally running numbers over and over and over and over and over to a point of nauseum until the lights went on and until I got that into my system. Go and see a deal, come back and analyze it. So running numbers was actually analyzing the damn property. Yes, I was slow. Running numbers was not just about how much of an offer I'm going to make. It's how I'm going to look through the cracks to actually understand how much of an offer I'm going to make. And that's when I thought, this running numbers thing is pretty important. And this is why I call it in today's video, fact number 2. Did you have any issues with numbers? I wonder if you've gone through education and you have any issues with numbers, drop it down in the comments below. I mean, I thought I was good at numbers. Yeah, until I really needed to understand that running the numbers was part of the analysis process, because I'm sitting with the TPN reports, I'm sitting with the Lightstone reports, and I'm actually asking myself, what next? So I believe fact number 2 really constitutes to why we need some measure of education, because I know there's a lot of people like me out there. I do have a once-off session where you can actually come through if you've got a deal, and I can show you where to buy the TPN reports, and we actually run numbers together, right? So you can go down in the description below and see where you can book a property coaching session with me. Look, if there's anything I know is that numbers sometimes can kick behind, especially if we just don't even understand some of the principles within real estate investing. And the third fact is so obvious. It's negotiation. Why would I actually call that a reason to actually have the education? The negotiation is like when you go and view the property, when you are analyzing the property, there's a lot of things that are going to pop. Like, for example, like, what does a renovation look like, right? If you're trying to sell me a property that is on market value worth 500,000 and it's run down and it needs potentially 100,000 of renovation, but you're trying to sell it to me for 450,000 Rand, I buy it. I've already bought the property over market value because the renovation costs, the closing costs, the holding costs of that particular property investing opportunity far surpasses and goes over 500,000. And I was like, dang it. So really, to answer the question is, what education do I need if I want to become a real estate investor? I really believe that there's a lot of short courses that are out there, some grossly overpriced. I know, I get it. I've been in a classroom of 15,000, but I can't knock some of these classrooms down, right? Not everybody is a bit of a, is overpriced. Let's leave it there. Not everybody is overpriced. But what I want to do is welcome you to go down in the description below. I've got 3 hours of free content. And I first want you to go through that content and actually ask yourself, hey, did I get anything actionable out of here? Is it something that I can actually understand in terms of education to become a real estate investor? What boxes is that education that I've shared freely on my website? What is it worth to you? And when you actually find that, hey, this actually makes a lot of sense, that's when I'd rather want to then welcome you to say, maybe join my next virtual class, because at the end of the day, we all need that measure of education to fine-tune our current thinking. I mean, this YouTube video can only be so long, and you can only watch it that long, right? Until you think, okay, I'm dead, she's talking too much. And there's just so much that we can plug in here. And this is why I say, go into the description, find that 3-hour free training. There's a link, it will take you straight into the training. No signing up is needed. If you want to, well, go wild, but you don't have to. And that actually start understanding some of the words that are coming through. And it's a very interactive training because it's training that I had with people, more than 100 people in my Facebook group that I had at the beginning of COVID 2020. And it was quite interesting to realize how many of us get so swooped up in the world of pretty pictures on Property 24 and private property. So many of us get swooped up in this whole notion of, oh, I already know which calculations that I need. Again, not dissing your calculations, but just highlighting to the person that is, especially the person that has dropped an inbox, to say, but what education do I need? Don't worry, I did send the free training and say, taste this education and then come back to me and have a conversation. Because I'm big on first, can I equip you somewhere before I even ask you to join anything? So I trust that this video has been awesome. If you're interested in getting started in property investing, I want to welcome you to go up into the playlist above, right? See short videos just like this one to hear and see, is this actually for you? See you over in this playlist